Hello and welcome back to Ben's Boat Bramble. I'm just about to cut up some kindling and then add some logs to warm Bramble up a bit because I'm about to move. So I'm going to have some nice heat coming up through the doorway as I'm cruising, so I can warm up my hands and have some nice heat against the front of my body. So as I mentioned, the plan is to go up Cowley Lock today and possibly to Uxbridge Lock, but I will probably moor somewhere above Cowley Lock. I'm not planning on going too far today, just to move a bit, a mile or two, and then yeah, find somewhere else to moor. The local residents have been quite busy again. Right, so Bramble's nice and toasty now. There's lots of heat coming out from below. Looking forward to using this again. If you don't know, that's called a windlass or windlass, and that helps you crank the lock mechanisms to let the water in and out.
Train's coming to drag you away. Won't let that train leave with you, it would be a sad day. Told you more than a couple times that you could stay. So why do you keep going to that platform in the rain? You've been so hurt before, I've seen your heart die. I'll never stop trying to make you smile. Your head's been under the water for way too long. You're drowning in your own tears, and I can't read your mind. Nothing helps but time. Give me time to think about why our love is done.
So there's Bramble in the distance, and I'm just letting the water out of this lock, the Cowley Lock. So I'll show you how that's done. So here you have what you put your windlass on. Then you start to wind this, which opens up the sluices underwater and lets the water out underneath the surface. And then when the water level matches either side of the gate, you can lean back against the gates. It's not quite ready yet because it's not opening, but if you just lean back a little bit with a little bit of pressure, when the levels are equal, it will start to open for you. It looks as if I'll have company coming up the lock. There's a large green boat that's just moored up in front of Bramble, so we'll probably go up together unless they're a bit wider than I think they are. Cheers, mate. Yours isn't so bad either. Yours not so bad either. Yeah. I wish I was a bit shorter sometimes. I wish I was a bit shorter sometimes. So we're just closing the gates now. It's good practice to close the gates and the paddles, whether you're going up or down, to restrict the flow of water so that between locks it never gets too shallow. Right, I've just come up the lock and stopped on the lock landing on the top because it seems like I've got something stuck in my prop. When I go to move off, it's very slow to get moving, and it's not making a lot of noise. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to put my hand in the freezing water and try and sort it out. This is probably one of the least favourite jobs to do for any boater, to have to get stuff off your prop, especially when it's cold like today. So for obvious safety reasons, you always cut the engine just in case you were to accidentally knock your boat into drive, which would cause the propeller to turn and cause injury. So below you have the weed hatch. That there is to undo it. So I'll be doing that now and then placing it on the mat to my right, being very careful not to knock it into the water because there's no getting it out. So now it's undone, I'll take it out. It's very heavy.
You having fun?
Oh yeah.
Paint job still looking good?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah.
So as you could hear, someone said, are you having fun? They probably know what it's like to be shoving your hand down your weed hatch. All right, I'm going to take my jumper off because sometimes you need to go really deep, shoulder deep really. All right, I'm just going to have a feel around and see what's there. Yeah, I mean, for a start, I've just put my hand quite shallow and got a nice large piece of plastic there. And when you do this, you want to try and do it with minimal water intake as well, because obviously you have your batteries quite nearby. and electric wires. I'm gonna have to get a pair of scissors now. Thankfully the fire is blaring hot inside, so I'll be able to warm myself up afterwards. I've got a feeling that this has followed me from the slough arm. When I got something stuck in the prop then, I think it might actually be that, and it never actually left my prop. I think that's it. One last check before I go in. Yeah, that's all clear now. Thankfully it wasn't too difficult, just a bit of a pain in the arse. So now I need to put the weed hatch seal back on. Make sure that it's sealed properly. It's not like this. It's very heavy, especially to lift in such an awkward position. That should be fine. Right, that's nice and tight. So before I put the lid back on my stern floor, I'm going to turn the engine on and put it into gear for a second, just to see if anything drips out, because it would be awful to start moving, this not being tight enough and water coming in without you knowing. Obviously you can sink yourself quite quickly that way. So that's all fine. So if ever you go into canal water, or part of you does, you should always give yourself a rub down, at least with an anti-back wipe. There's lots of bacteria and nastiness in these waters, so it's always a good idea, especially if you're going to put a watch back on afterwards. That's better. I've just added another log to the fire to keep the heat coming as well. Yeah, that's much better. I'm just going to show you what I just pulled out of my prop. All that plastic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was from Slough. If you saw the last episode, there was a large wooden pallet and a piece of plastic next to it when I was going past on my walk before I actually took Bramble up, and I believe that's what it is. I'm going to make a pit stop at the bins because I have some rubbish to get rid of. I've never used these bins before. Right, so it's nothing exciting, it really is just bins and someone's set of keys that they've obviously lost. If anyone's lost a set of keys near Uxbridge, then they're here. So yeah, this isn't really what you're meant to use the bins for. It's not somewhere to leave large pieces of wood or furniture or carpet, but some people do. So that is my rubbish stop all done. Bramble feels a bit lighter. a massive difference in Bramble's speed and steering. I can't believe I didn't notice before, really. Maybe because it's not happened in the middle of a cruise, it's less noticeable, but I'm surprised I didn't notice nonetheless. My phone died, so I just charged it off. I just charged it up a little bit to finish off the video, and gave the exterior a little bit more of a clean because those bird poos from recently are still there. So here's my little spot just before the Uxbridge boat centre, and yeah, it's a nice quiet spot. There's good solar here, so I'll be getting a bit of sun on the solar panels rather than being covered by trees. Remember to like and subscribe if you like what you see. You can support the channel in the description. I'll leave a link to my Buy Me a Coffee account. That would help me out a lot, but no obligations. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.